Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Collins and I'm a pelvic health physical therapist. Today we are going to talk about mindfulness and the pelvic floor. So what that means basically is how our brain corresponds and correlates with what our pelvic floor and our bodies feel in terms of pain. A lot of times when someone's in pain for a very long time, they get something, I won't say get it, it's not like you catch it, but something happens called central sensitization. And basically what this means is that our nerves now respond far quicker and are more sensitive to pain stimulus than they were before. So over time, our nerves and the different chemicals that our nervous system emits start to increase and make our body more sensitive to a stimulus, one that typically wouldn't even be painful, but now is painful, or those pains that we had that shouldn't be as painful as they are now are far more painful. And there's a whole reasoning, and a lot of research around this. It's not within the context of our discussion here to go into all of that, but I do have a book that I would like for everyone to look at if they're interested in learning more, and it's called Explain Pain, right? This is a great book, and it's by David Butler and Laura Moore Mosley, and it talks about our body's pain response to chronic pain. So in talking about central sensitization, there are some things that are commonly seen. I'm just going to read off from the book what they have in here. The pain persists, the pain spreads, the pain worsens, lots of movements, even small ones, hurt. The pain becomes less predictable. The pain links more to your thoughts and feelings. And pain may be linked to other threats in life, previous, current, and anticipated. So those are all things that can occur with central sensitization occurring. So that's part one of what I wanted to talk about. So in this mindfulness piece, what we want to start doing is retraining those signals that go to our brains to come down, right? And knowing that that's possible. So in general, pain is good in terms of it's our warning system. It's our danger, something's going on system, which we need when we are in fact hurt or in danger or any other situation. So pain is necessary. When it becomes an issue is when we get into these chronic pain patterns, and now we're hypersensitive to those pain situations. So part of this mindfulness around pain is understanding that not all pain, if we've been in these chronic pain conditions, that not all pain is a harm to our body. Some of the pain is built up from our system just getting too sensitive to the pain stimulus we had initially. When someone's injured, there's a certain amount of time that the pain happens because of the actual injury and then the tissue healing. And if we were to do a graph, that graph will look like this, right? You're injured, the pain goes up when you're injured, and then as you're healing, the pain goes down, 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 okay? Over time, and your tissues heal. And according to that, by the time your tissues heal, you shouldn't have pain anymore. What happens when your tissues start to feel pain longer, and because your system is now becoming too sensitive to the pain, is that, you get hurt, the pain intensifies as the pain and the healing processes are initially occurring, and then the pain still keeps going up, right? And so now your body is creating more pain because it's identifying more pain because you're now emitting more chemicals and neurotransmitters, and all of these things are happening that allow you to feel more pain that is very real, but now your body has brought you to this point. Instead of it just being the tissue healing and everything being done and over. I hope that makes sense for people. If not, try the book. It's really, really good. Okay, so some techniques that I'm going to suggest for mindfulness are, one, just to imagine, right? You have to use your imagination. You have to start redirecting where these signals are coming from. So to just use your imagination and imagine that body part that typically is very painful for you. Imagine it feeling good. Now this can be very difficult, especially if you've been in pain for a very, very long time. But just taking a few minutes every day to just imagine this body part feeling good. There are studies that show that even us thinking about a body part can be the same as actually moving a body part or feeling it there, right? So our brains can emit these signals to start to retrain our bodies in a different way, and those pain responses and those pain signals. So that's the first thing you want to start doing. And then after that, you can actually start thinking about moving that body part in a certain way, and imagining it feeling good when you move that body part. So say for a person, it hurts for them to do a Kegel, which is or a pelvic diaphragm muscle squeeze. I really want to get away from using the term Kegel. A pelvic diaphragm muscle squeeze. So before, when they would do it, it would be painful. So now just imagine yourself squeezing your pelvic diaphragm muscles and it feeling good to do that. That's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is, if it's a body part, say in part of your pelvis, when you go to lift your leg up, it hurts. So what you can do is take a mirror and put a mirror alongside your other leg to make it look as if it's the leg that you typically move that would be hurting is in the mirror. Does that make sense for you? Then you can move so say I put the mirror in between my right leg, and my left leg is the one that's hurting. I can now get that mirror image of my right leg so it looks like my left leg is there. Move your right leg up and down, and that way you can see an image as if that left leg is moving and not feeling pain. That's another way to retrain your body. Does that make sense? If not, you can ask me questions below and I can try and get back and help you as much as I can. So those are just a couple of examples of how you can use other ways of using your mindfulness and start getting your body to adjust. Another way you can do it is, I pulled this out here, using images of the way you want your body to feel. So, for instance, if you are a person who has pelvic pain, this is just a magazine. Here's an ad in the magazine. And we have all these young women here, right, who are doing these very general movements, coming through a park or wherever. But they're moving and they're walking, and everyone seems to be having a good time. So you can find images like this in the magazine and say, oh, this is, a way I would like to feel. And you can start circling pelvises, identifying what kinds of movements she's flexed over, what kinds of movements you would like to do, and feel good doing them. And start training your brain to see those things being done in a comfortable and feel good way. Okay? Another thing I'd like to do, and here's another book I'm pulling out. There's a book by a woman named Louise Hay. It's called Heal Your Body A to Z. And in this book, she gives lots of different types of diagnosis for different types of dis/eases, and a thought pattern behind why these things are going on, but then another thought pattern or kind of a mantra to say to help you feel better about it. For instance, if we are talking about the bladder, I pulled one up here for the bladder. What happened to it? Oh, here it is. Bladder Problems, cystitis, which is right here. See? Can you guys see that all? Okay, so for bladder problems, she says that the probable cause is anxiety, holding on to old ideas, fear of letting go, being pissed off. And the mantra, she says, is I comfortably and easily release the old and welcome the new in my life. I am safe. So saying things like that about your body to kind of help rid yourself of this disease is another way you can do to be mindful about something. There's another book I'd like to point out too. Her name is Dr. Christian Northrup, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdoms. I love Dr. Northrup. I love reading what she puts out there. But in this book, she talks about our energy centers. And for women, or for anybody, women, man, whoever, child, whoever, our energy center for our pelvis is our pelvic chakra, which is right around our sacral area. So I'll just kind of stand up for you here. I don't know if you can see me here. It's about right here, okay? That's where our pelvic chakra is, and our pelvic energy center. And so this is over sexuality, relationships, creativity, and there are ways to help kind of bring some good energy into that chakra if that is something that you choose to do, to be mindful about it. Dr. Northrup has some good information about the pelvic chakra. A way I like to work on my pelvic chakra is to imagine an orange glowing light, because the pelvic chakra's color is orange. Is to imagine an orange glowing light expanding and getting bigger as I tell myself positive information about my pelvic chakra, like my pelvic chakra is healthy, I am creative, I am in good relationships, I create good relationships, or I'm financially secure, because finances is a part of the pelvic chakra as well. So those are just things you can do for that. The last thing I'm going to talk about too for mindfulness activities is something like artwork, right? So I have a nonprofit and I work with survivors of sexual assault on chronic pelvic pain and chronic pain. And I actually created a magazine full of some of their artwork, which I call the Felt Vulva Project. And this is a magazine I did about it. So in my workshops, I have women create felt vulvas, and my only prerequisite is that I ask them to do it with a loving intention. But this is a good way, as you guys can see, for these women to create loving and positive images around their vulvas and around their vaginas and their pelvis, and to feel good about themselves. So art is always a super, super duper great way. So I know I've talked a lot today. I'm done. I hope you all found this information helpful. If any of you have any questions, please just write them below and I will get back to you. Also, this magazine I do sell for the nonprofit to raise funds for it, but I can put that information below too if anyone is interested. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. You can follow me on Facebook, Vital Self Physical Therapy, and I guess that's it for right now. And I'll put my other following information down below too. Take care. Bye. Thank you.